Torrential rain lashes against the towering skyscrapers of New York City. The relentless storm swallows the chaotic streets, masking the city's usual restless energy. Ethan, a 33-year-old delivery driver, parks his worn motorcycle. Rainwater drips from his jawline as he firmly grips an insulated bag of high-end food. He steps into the grand lobby of a neoclassical European-style building. His soaked boots leave faint trails on the flawless, dark Italian marble floor. An older concierge observes Ethan's drenched uniform with silent, calculated disdain. Without a word, he gestures stiffly toward a frosted glass private elevator. Ethan enters the enclosed space. The elevator ascends rapidly, rocketing up 80 floors while lightning illuminates the city skyline through the rain-streaked glass. The doors slide open with a soft hum. Ethan steps out into a cavernous penthouse, dominated by dark cedar wood and heavy, moody shadows. He walks toward a pristine quartz kitchen island, carefully placing the heavy insulated bag onto the cold surface. The massive room remains terrifyingly silent. Turning his back, Ethan approaches the elevator to leave. Suddenly, a sharp electronic click echoes. The call button shifts to an angry, solid red. He presses the button firmly. Nothing happens. He presses it again. The doors remain sealed shut. He is entirely locked inside the penthouse. From the deep shadows of the sunken living room, a figure emerges. Chloe, a 34-year-old woman, watches him silently, holding a crystal glass. Ethan turns to face her, his muscular frame tense under the soaked jacket. He demands she unlock the doors, refusing to be a pawn in the games of the ultra-rich. Chloe steps fully into the dim light, entirely unbothered. The soft illumination catches the golden waves of her blonde hair as she sets her crystal glass on the table. With calculated precision, she slides a thick manila folder across the cold quartz island. It stops right at his fingertips, carrying the weight of a heavy secret. Ethan opens the folder. His jaw clenches as he sees printed documents detailing his past as a brilliant architect and the crushing medical debts for his daughter, Lily. Chloe speaks with the icy authority of a CEO. She outlines a $10 million corporate merger, a marriage contract for exactly 365 days to secure her empire. A surge of protective anger flashes in Ethan's deep eyes. He steps forward, his towering presence challenging her, refusing to let his loyalty be purchased. Suddenly, the shrill ring of a cell phone shatters the tension. Ethan pulls the device from his pocket. The caller ID flashes the name of the pediatric hospital. He answers, his expression crumbling from fierce defiance to sheer despair. The billing department has declined his final credit card, pausing Lily's critical treatment. Without breaking eye contact, Chloe smoothly slides a sleek, heavy black titanium credit card across the dark counter, a silent offer of absolute salvation. Ethan stares at the black metal card. Slowly, his hand reaches out, fingers brushing the cold titanium. He picks up a gold fountain pen, sealing his fate. The golden ink dries on the heavy paper. Chloe delicately retrieves the contract, a faint glimmer of triumph in her calculating blue eyes. She picks up a sleek phone, issuing cold, precise orders to her executive assistant to transfer a patient to the VIP medical wing. Ethan watches her, the crushing weight of his debt dissolving into the shadows of the silent, cavernous penthouse. The elevator doors finally unlock with a soft chime. Ethan steps inside, leaving the cold sanctuary of the Billionaire behind. Down on the rain-swept streets, the storm continues, but Ethan's rugged face reflects a newfound, fierce determination. Morning sunlight pierces through the tall windows of a private, high-security pediatric hospital room, completely replacing the grim reality of the previous night. Ethan stands by a state-of-the-art medical bed, gently holding the small, fragile hand of his sleeping daughter, Lily. Top-tier specialists, dressed in pristine white coats, review Lily's charts with optimistic, reassuring nods. The titanium card worked. Hours later, Ethan is escorted into a lavish, oak-paneled dressing room where an elderly, sharp-eyed European tailor awaits. The tailor meticulously measures Ethan's broad shoulders, beginning the physical transformation from a desperate delivery driver into a formidable corporate player. The elderly tailor carefully drapes a bespoke charcoal suit jacket over Ethan's broad shoulders, adjusting the lapels with absolute precision. Ethan stares into the antique mirror. The weary delivery driver is gone, replaced by the commanding presence of a former master architect. The heavy oak doors swing open. Chloe steps into the room, commanding attention in a razor-sharp, aggressive crimson power blazer. Her cold, calculating eyes sweep over him. A subtle, approving nod confirms that the flawless illusion of her wealthy fiancé is complete. Within minutes, they sit side by side in the plush leather interior of a sleek black Maybach, gliding silently through the morning traffic. The atmosphere inside the car is strictly business. Chloe hands Ethan a sleek tablet, briefing him on the hostile board members waiting above. The luxury vehicle pulls up to the towering glass and steel monolith of the corporate headquarters, reflecting the bright city skyline. As they step onto the curb, whispered rumors ripple through the gathered crowd of sharply dressed corporate employees. Ethan confidently places a warm, protective hand on the small of Chloe's back, instantly selling the image of a devoted partner. They step into the private glass elevator. As the doors close, the ascent to the 80th floor boardroom begins, where their true enemies wait. The elevator chimes. The heavy mahogany doors of the 80th floor boardroom swing open, revealing a theater of corporate intimidation. 12 executives sit around a massive wooden table. At the head lounges Julian, Chloe's arrogant cousin, wearing a predatory smirk. Julian claps his hands slowly in mock applause as Ethan and Chloe enter, clearly intent on tearing down her pristine reputation. With a theatrical sigh, Julian tosses a stack of glossy photographs onto the polished wood, scattering them for the board to see. The executives lean in. The photos clearly show Ethan in his rain-soaked delivery gear, handing over food packages just a day prior. Murmurs of outrage ripple through the room. Julian sneers, calling Chloe a desperate fraud who hired a delivery boy to save her shares. Chloe stands perfectly still, her knuckles turning white as she grips the back of a leather chair, struggling to maintain her composure. Before Julian can demand a vote of no confidence, Ethan steps forward. His deep, resonant voice instantly silences the whispering room. Ethan confidently picks up one of the photos. Instead of shrinking in shame, he proudly acknowledges his hard work as an honest, struggling father. Then, Ethan pulls a sleek blue folder from his briefcase. He drops it directly in front of Julian, signaling the start of a brutal counterattack. Ethan flips open the blue folder. He speaks with absolute authority, revealing his past as the master architect behind 3 of the city's tallest towers. He points a commanding finger at the documents, methodically breaking down complex structural costs and logistics with undeniable expertise. The older executives lean forward again, this time captivated by Ethan's brilliant analysis and deep understanding of the corporate real estate market. Turning his piercing gaze to Julian, Ethan exposes a massive $15 million gap hidden within Julian's recent Eastern Sector construction budgets. Julian's arrogant facade shatters entirely. He stammers, his face draining of color as the undeniable proof of his financial mismanagement sits on the table. Chloe looks up at Ethan. For the first time, the icy walls around her heart crack, replaced by profound shock and genuine respect. An older, highly respected board member nods in deep approval, officially validating Ethan's expertise and securing Chloe's position at the helm. Humiliated and cornered, Julian violently snatches his corrupted files, his hands shaking with barely contained rage. Julian storms out of the boardroom, the heavy mahogany doors slamming shut behind him, but his venomous glare promises this is far from over. The room erupts into a quiet murmur of approval. Ethan turns to Chloe, offering a gentle, reassuring smile that wasn't written in any contract. A week later, the sterile perfection of the billionaire's penthouse is interrupted by the arrival of Ethan and his 5-year-old daughter, Lily. The cavernous, dark wood living room is suddenly scattered with bright, colorful building blocks and a state-of-the-art medical monitor. Ethan kneels on the expensive imported rug, patiently helping Lily construct an incredibly unstable, leaning tower out of plastic bricks. From the shadowed hallway, Chloe stands quietly out of sight. The formidable CEO watches the touching scene with a strange, unfamiliar ache in her chest. She observes Ethan's deep, rumbling laugh as the toy tower collapses, a sound that instantly brings warmth to the cold, echoing space. Lily looks up, her bright blue eyes catching sight of Chloe hiding in the shadows. The little girl offers a wide, innocent smile. Caught off guard, the Ice Queen hesitates. Slowly, Chloe steps into the soft glow of the living room, feeling entirely out of her element. Ethan looks up, his protective instincts softening as he sees the genuine uncertainty in Chloe's striking, sharp features. Carefully, Chloe sits down on the edge of the plush leather sofa, keeping a safe physical distance but unable to look away from the child. Lily holds out a single, bright yellow building block toward her. Chloe stares at the plastic toy as if it were an alien artifact. Hesitantly, Chloe reaches out. Her perfectly manicured fingers brush against Lily's small hand as she takes the yellow building block. With exaggerated care, the billionaire CEO places the plastic piece on top of the leaning tower, miraculously keeping it balanced. Lily claps her hands in pure delight. For the first time in years, a genuine, unguarded smile breaks across Chloe's face. Ethan watches from the floor. The profound warmth in his deep eyes reveals that the strict boundaries of their corporate contract are already fading. Weeks turn into a comfortable routine. The cold penthouse transforms into a true home, filled with shared meals and quiet, domestic peace. One evening, Chloe sits on the edge of Lily's bed, softly reading a classic bedtime story until the little girl drifts to sleep. Ethan stands in the doorway, admiring the undeniable bond forming between his daughter and the woman who bought his loyalty. But the fragile peace shatters at 3 in the morning. The harsh, rapid beeping of Lily's medical monitor cuts through the silent dark. Ethan sprints down the hallway, but Chloe is already there. She is kneeling by the bed, her face pale with terror. Lily is breathing heavily, her skin glistening with a sudden fever. Chloe frantically presses the emergency button to summon the private medical team. Within minutes, an elite private medical team floods into the penthouse, working rapidly to stabilize the feverish child. Ethan stands frozen in the corner, his heart pounding as he watches the doctors insert an 4-line into Lily's small arm. Hours later, the chaotic night settles into a tense silence within the sterile, brilliantly lit corridor of the VIP hospital wing. Exhausted and completely stripped of her billionaire persona, Chloe slumps onto a waiting room bench, burying her face in her hands. Ethan sits beside her. Without a word, he gently wraps his strong arm around her shoulders, offering a silent, steady anchor. Chloe doesn't pull away. Instead, the Ice Queen finally surrenders, resting her tired head against his chest, finding unexpected comfort. Miles away from the hospital, the city's elite underground thrives. Julian sits in the dimly lit corner of an exclusive, shadowy private club. A rugged private investigator slides a thick, black envelope across the leather table toward Julian, who grabs it with greedy anticipation. Julian pulls out bank records showing a massive offshore transfer of $5 million, dated the exact day of Chloe's sudden wedding. A wicked, triumphant smile twists Julian's face. He finally holds the weapon that will destroy his cousin and reclaim the empire. Several weeks pass. Lily makes a miraculous, full recovery, bringing light and genuine joy back into the once sterile penthouse. But the corporate world waits for no one. Tonight is the prestigious Hayes Global Annual Charity Gala, the most anticipated event of the season. A brilliant barrage of camera flashes erupts as Ethan and Chloe step onto the red carpet outside the grand, neoclassical museum. Chloe looks absolutely radiant in a sweeping emerald evening gown. Ethan, striking in a tailored tuxedo, gently holds her hand. As they walk, Ethan's thumb softly strokes her knuckles, an intimate, unscripted gesture that makes her smile warmly at him. Inside the lavishly decorated hall, a string quartet plays while the city's elite sip champagne under towering crystal chandeliers. Chloe gracefully navigates the crowd, leaving Ethan near an extravagant crystal champagne tower to speak with local politicians. Suddenly, a familiar, arrogant voice cuts through the elegant music. Julian steps out from the crowd, blocking Ethan's path. Julian swirls a glass of scotch, a malicious gleam in his eye as he compliments Ethan's flawless performance as the loving husband. Then, moving closer, Julian slips a folded piece of paper from his tuxedo jacket, a printed copy of the offshore bank transfer. Unfolding the document, Julian reveals the damning financial record. He threatens to project it onto the main screen for the entire city to see. Ethan's jaw tightens. If the offshore transfer is exposed, Chloe will lose the empire, and Ethan could face federal fraud charges. With a cold, calculated smirk, Julian pulls out a second piece of paper. It is a pre-signed, certified check for $5 million. Julian leans in close, offering a brutal ultimatum: take the money, walk out the door right now, and publicly abandon Chloe. Ethan stares at the massive sum. It is absolute freedom. More money than he could ever earn in a lifetime of architecture. Slowly, Ethan looks across the crowded, elegant room. He spots Chloe standing near a massive floral arrangement, looking incredibly radiant. She catches his eye through the crowd and offers a soft, completely genuine smile that makes Ethan's heart hammer against his ribs. In that fleeting moment, the truth hits him with undeniable force. He isn't acting anymore. He has fallen deeply in love with her. Ethan turns his calm, steely gaze back to Julian. Without a single word, he takes the $5 million check from Julian's hand. With deliberate precision, Ethan tears the check completely in half, dropping the shredded paper directly into Julian's glass of expensive scotch. Julian's face turns a violent shade of red. Furious at the rejection, he turns on his heel and marches aggressively toward the main stage. He steps up to the crystal podium, tapping the microphone sharply.
Can everyone hear me?
The piercing feedback instantly silences the bustling gala hall. Chloe frowns, stepping quickly through the crowd to stand beside Ethan, her eyes fixed nervously on her unpredictable cousin. With a booming voice, Julian commands the attention of the city's elite, publicly accusing Chloe of perpetrating a massive, fraudulent corporate marriage. Gasps echo through the lavish museum hall. Paparazzi instantly pivot their heavy cameras, aiming their flashing lenses directly at the shocked couple. Chloe's radiant face goes chalk white. She looks at Ethan, sheer terror breaking through her composed, icy facade for the very first time. Enjoying his malicious triumph, Julian presses a sleek remote control to project the offshore bank ledger onto the massive screen behind him. The giant screen illuminates the dark stage, casting a bright, harsh glow over Julian as the financial document flashes into view. Julian spreads his arms, commanding the board members to behold the multi-million-dollar payoff that proves the marriage is completely fake. However, the crowd murmurs, squinting at the screen. The sound filling the room isn't outrage or disgust, but utter, bewildered confusion. Julian turns around to look at the massive screen. His smug, victorious smile instantly vanishes, replaced by sheer, unadulterated panic. The projected document isn't an offshore bank record from the Cayman Islands. It is a certified medical charter adorned with the city hospital's official seal. It clearly displays a $5 million anonymous donation, perfectly matching the wedding date, entirely dedicated to a new pediatric research foundation. Julian frantically mashes the buttons on his remote control, desperately trying to change the slide, but the image remains permanently locked. Ethan confidently walks up the stage steps. With smooth authority, he effortlessly takes the microphone from Julian's trembling hand. His deep voice resonates through the hall as he proudly announces that his beautiful wife quietly donated her wealth to save children's lives. Ethan explains that they wanted to keep the philanthropy private, but since Julian brought it up, she deserves a round of applause. The room erupts. The bewildered silence transforms into deafening, thunderous applause as the city's elite turn to admire the stunned CEO. Chloe places a hand over her heart, tears glistening in her icy blue eyes as the overwhelming wave of public admiration washes over her. Ethan turns his microphone off and leans in incredibly close to Julian, whispering the final, devastating blow of his architectural master plan. Ethan quietly reveals that while Julian was busy hacking offshore accounts, Ethan used his old city planner contacts to investigate Julian's files. He tells the terrified cousin that the undeniable proof of his massive corporate fraud has already been sent to the authorities. Julian's entire world collapses. His knees weaken, and his arrogant posture crumbles into the posture of a completely defeated, broken man. Julian slowly backs away from the podium, his breathing shallow, before turning and making a desperate, frantic dash toward the exit. But as he violently shoves open the heavy mahogany doors, two imposing men in sharp dark suits step forward, blocking his escape. The federal agents flash their gold badges. Without a single word, they grip Julian by the arms and escort him out into the night. Back inside the hall, the applause finally fades, replaced by a warm, celebratory atmosphere as Chloe reclaims her empire entirely. Later that night, the grand charity gala comes to an end. Ethan and Chloe step out of the private elevator and back into their penthouse. The storm that raged on the night they first met is a distant memory. Through the vast windows, the city skyline is clear and glittering. Chloe kicks off her painful high heels, letting out a long, trembling breath of sheer exhaustion and absolute relief in the dim foyer. Ethan unfastens his bow tie, draping it loosely around his collar as he watches the powerful CEO standing barefoot and vulnerable in the dim light. Chloe turns to face him. Her hands tremble slightly as she admits she checked the offshore account yesterday, expecting to find his safety net. Her voice cracks softly as she reveals the account was completely empty. He had given every single cent of the $5 million to the charity. Ethan steps closer, bridging the physical distance between them. He tells her calmly that he never wanted her wealth. He looks deeply into her eyes, confessing that all he ever wanted was for his daughter to have a chance to live. Hearing those words, the last remnants of the Ice Queen melt away forever. Tears shimmer brightly in Chloe's striking blue eyes. For the very first time, she reaches out voluntarily, letting her hand rest gently against his broad chest, feeling his steady heartbeat. Slowly, she reaches into her elegant clutch purse and pulls out a folded piece of heavy stock paper. It is the original marriage contract. Chloe stares at the legal document that brought them together, a cold, calculated business transaction that accidentally saved them both. Without a second thought, she grips the heavy paper and slowly tears it down the middle, destroying the corporate agreement completely. The shredded pieces of the multi-million-dollar contract flutter through the air, falling like snow onto the dark imported rug. Chloe looks up at him, a breathtaking smile breaking through her tears. She whispers that the 365 days are finally over. With Julian gone and the board secured, she softly tells Ethan that he is officially a free man, entirely released from his obligations. But Ethan doesn't step away. Instead, he reaches out, his warm, calloused fingers gently tracing the delicate curve of her jawline. He looks deeply into her eyes, his voice a low, magnetic rumble as he asks what happens if he refuses to leave. Ethan steps even closer, trapping her against the wall, suggesting that they need to renegotiate the terms of their agreement. Chloe lets out a breathless, tearful laugh, leaning into his touch as she asks him what his new demands are. Without a single ounce of hesitation, Ethan murmurs his final offer: 50 years, no escape clauses, and absolutely no fake smiles. Just Ethan, Chloe, and Lily, bound by a real family. Chloe closes the distance, wrapping her arms tightly around his neck. They share a fierce, burning kiss under the dim light, finally sealing a true lifetime contract as the Ice Queen completely surrenders. 1 year later, the chilling storms of the past have been completely replaced by bright, golden mornings in the penthouse. Ethan stands at a large drafting table, carefully reviewing architectural blueprints for the new pediatric wing of the city hospital. He isn't just a former architect anymore. He is the lead designer for the Sarah Carter Memorial Foundation, funded entirely by Chloe. Chloe walks into the sunlit room, carrying 2 warm cups of coffee. She wears a relaxed, elegant dress, radiating pure happiness. She wraps her free arm around Ethan's waist, resting her chin on his shoulder as she admires his brilliant structural designs. Ethan turns his head, pressing a soft, loving kiss against her temple, their connection deeper and stronger than ever before. Suddenly, the quiet morning is interrupted by the joyful sound of running footsteps echoing down the hardwood hallway. Lily bursts into the room, her cheeks rosy and full of life, wearing a bright yellow backpack for her first day of kindergarten. Chloe kneels down effortlessly, adjusting the straps of Lily's backpack and brushing a stray lock of hair from the girl's face. Lily throws her small arms around Chloe's neck, tightly hugging the woman she now proudly calls her mother. Ethan leans against the doorframe, crossing his arms with a proud, contented smile as he watches his 2 favorite girls head off to school. Several months pass, leading to a brilliant, cloudless spring morning outside the newly constructed pediatric wing of the city hospital. The striking modern architecture features expansive glass walls and lush green terraces, a brilliant testament to Ethan's architectural mastery. A large, cheerful crowd of hospital staff, board members, and local press gathers around a grand stage set up in front of the main entrance. Chloe steps up to the podium. Gone are the aggressive, dark power suits of her past. Today, she wears a warm, bright pastel spring blazer. She looks out over the crowd, her demeanor completely transformed from a ruthless executive into a deeply compassionate and accessible leader. In the front row, Ethan stands tall, holding a cheering Lily securely on his broad shoulders so she can see over the crowd. She locks eyes with Ethan across the sea of people, a silent, profound exchange of love and gratitude passing between them. Taking a pair of large golden scissors, Chloe gracefully cuts the thick red ribbon, officially opening the doors as the crowd erupts into cheers. Taking a pair of large golden scissors, Chloe gracefully cuts the thick red ribbon, officially opening the doors as the crowd erupts into cheers. Vi gay sao bui lo con ton, Ethan va Chloe trove ku din Thursday ko kin qua gia tok de Thursday don fong lam vi qua nuoi ong qua ko. Lop bui imo bei lo lung trong kong john Thursday vien tran gap on nong chiu, noi lu ju and hung ton du qua mot de che thuang mai the he truok. Chloe dung lang le truok buk chan dung qua ong noi. Nuoi dan ong nium kok da ap dat du koan han nan ky la len kuok doi ko. Trong luke jup ko don dep in hung chong ho so siu, te Ethan vo tin cham phi mot le qua and ben dui cheek bon lam vik bang go soy. Mot tiang catch ko kok vang len. Mot non kiobi mat badmo, de lo mot cheek hop go no duok cham tro tin zao. Ethan ken the nak cheek hop len, lay ra modifong Thursday de na malthoi john, ben tren ghi 10 Chloe bang net muc viet te nan not. On nain hang treo fong Thursday cho Chloe. Ko chan chu mot nip truok kai boc lop nim fong bang sap du cuky. Doi mat ko luden han qua and hung dong chu. Kuan mat ko chuyen tu soon gak neen sang su suk dong tot kung. Buck Thursday teet lo su that, ong noi de beat ro ban chat tam lam qua Julian, vaju koan han nan lakach duwe not de ep ko tim mot nuoi bao ve tuk su. Ong kong muon ko ket han vi loi ich thuang mai, ma muon ko tim thay mot gia din. Chloe engwak nin Ethan. Nen ra mon qua koi kung tuet voi not. Chloe carefully folds the aged letter, placing it back into the carved wooden box with a sense of profound reverence. Ethan gently squeezes her hand, a silent vow to protect the true legacy her grandfather always intended for her. The following morning, the couple strides through the pristine lobby of Hayes Global, radiating an aura of untouchable authority. Inside the 80th floor boardroom, the remaining executives sit in respectful silence, anticipating the commands of their undisputed leader. Chloe distributes a stack of legal documents, formally detailing the absolute forfeiture of Julian's shares due to his federal conviction. With unwavering confidence, she declares that the seized corporate assets will be permanently transferred to the new Pediatric Research Foundation. Without a moment of hesitation, every executive raises their hand in unanimous agreement, cementing her total control over the corporate empire. Standing near the mahogany doors, Ethan watches her command the room, his rugged face glowing with immense, undeniable pride. Once the massive boardroom empties, Ethan and Chloe stand together by the floor-to-ceiling windows, overlooking the sprawling metropolis. Chloe leans her head gently against Ethan's shoulder, gazing down at the city they now rule together, completely free from the past. Months turn into a quiet, steady rhythm of success. Ethan proudly opens his own independent architectural firm in the heart of the city. Standing outside the glass doors, Chloe playfully cuts a small red ribbon, mirroring his unwavering support for her past endeavors. Inside the new office, 7-year-old Lily sits at a massive drafting table, diligently sketching her own wobbly versions of skyscrapers. Ethan watches his daughter with immense pride, knowing that the family they built is his greatest structural masterpiece. A stark contrast exists miles away. Julian sits in a bleak, gray federal facility, entirely stripped of his bespoke velvet tuxedos. A sharp-dressed lawyer pushes a document across the metal table, formally denying Julian's final appeal. His isolation is permanent. Back in the penthouse, the cold marble and dark wood are now completely hidden beneath warm, glowing holiday decorations. Chloe, wearing a cozy oversized knit sweater, laughs as Ethan lifts her up to place a shining star atop a towering evergreen tree. Lily runs circles around the illuminated tree, her joyful giggles echoing through the halls of the once silent Billionaire sanctuary. Sitting comfortably by a crackling fireplace, Ethan and Chloe share a quiet toast, their fabricated contract replaced by undeniable reality. Time flows gracefully, replacing the cold winter with the vibrant, blooming warmth of spring across the city. Ethan and Chloe stroll through a lush urban park, their hands naturally intertwined in a comfortable, unbreakable bond. A few yards ahead, 8-year-old Lily runs across the bright green grass, chasing a stray butterfly with endless energy. Chloe watches her daughter, her fingers gently brushing against a custom silver pendant Ethan designed for her anniversary. Their afternoon walk leads them to the grand entrance of the Pediatric Foundation, a monument of their shared triumphs. Inside, the facility is flooded with natural light, revealing a beautifully constructed playroom designed specifically to aid healing. A senior doctor approaches, warmly shaking Ethan's hand, expressing deep gratitude for the uplifting architectural environment he created. Meanwhile, Chloe stands before the heavy bronze dedication plaque mounted on the marble wall, quietly reflecting on their journey. Ethan steps up behind her, wrapping his arms securely around her waist, sharing the profound, silent moment of victory. Together, they turn and walk back out through the grand glass doors, stepping confidently into the bright, promising sunlight. As the sun begins to set, casting a golden hue over the city, the family returns to the quiet sanctuary of their penthouse. Ethan and Chloe step out onto the expansive glass balcony, the cool evening breeze gently rustling her blonde hair. Lily rushes out to join them, wrapping her small arms around both of her parents in a tight, joyful embrace. The fading sunlight catches the brilliant sparkle of a new, permanent diamond ring on Chloe's finger, replacing the hollow contract band. Ethan looks down at his wife, his rugged features reflecting a lifetime of devotion and an unbreakable promise of protection. Chloe gazes back at him, the remnants of the cold, untouchable billionaire completely replaced by a woman deeply, profoundly in love. They stand together in perfect harmony, their silhouettes outlined against the breathtaking, vibrant canvas of the evening sky. Across the sprawling metropolis, the towering glass monolith of Hayes Global stands as a testament to their secured and righteous legacy. And within the walls of the newly built pediatric foundation, countless families find the exact same hope that once saved Lily. On a heavy oak desk, a simple framed photograph captures their smiling faces, freezing their hard-won, beautiful reality for eternity.